Are you there? Okay.
Hello. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get to the questions. I'm I together with Stefania started Snifty. The original plan for us was to actually build a platform for artists. But before we and as we build it, we one of the things that we heard is that for newer artists it's hard to get visibility. So we decided, hey, we will start Snifty Mag. What we do is interviews with artists, and we try to feature them, ask them a few questions, and basically have an article about specifically for each artist for every.
Perfect.
I will yeah, okay, let me get to the questions. I guess the first one we have to ask is, how did you get into digital art?
Yeah. Into digital art, I've been into it since a long time because my background is as a graphic designer and illustrator. That's what I studied in the university. And then after a while, I started tattooing, but I always kept like doing some images in Photoshop, and I follow a lot of digital artists. I'm really into gaming as well. So I was always into that. And so yeah, digital art was always something that I did. And then when I recently found out about NFTs and a way to like not only monetize it, but like to make it unique and something kind of tangible, even though it's in the digital world, my mind was blown. And I just found that it's so much possibilities that you can do with NFTs. Then I really fell into the rabbit hole where I
Mhm.
am right now producing digital pieces and stuff.
Okay. Okay. I when I was going through your work, I noticed that you had a very very particular style. And so if I may ask, what is the inspiration behind your work?
Yeah, my inspiration there are many things that influence me, but mainly is medieval art and subjects and traditional tattooing, classic traditional tattooing. And I think those are like the two pillars of the foundation of everything that I do. It can look more realistic at times with the paintings I've been doing. It can look more tattoo-like, but I'm always like playing with the same elements, which are like medieval stuff, kind of mystic, spiritual. I try to get into like the evil stuff a little bit, but not too much because I think it's like I don't know. I don't feel it's like too many negative images, and I cannot do them like forever. So I think the versatility is something very important for me.
Mhm.
And so it's mainly that medieval and tattoo images. The important thing that they are powerful, that
Okay.
are, yeah.
Is this something that you always liked, or was it something that as you were exploring different themes, you sort of settled on this because you liked it?
Yeah, I have to say I always liked it, basically. Like, since I was a kid, I was into the knights in armor and dragons and these epic stories and stuff. When I started tattooing, I just started developing the subjects to tattoo, based with these images in my mind, In tattoo, it's interesting because in traditional tattooing, which is something I really like, is, you have a lot of influence from Japan
Mhm.
because of their techniques of printmaking are mind blowing and are just so really tattooable. But it's not. I couldn't really define myself as a traditional Japanese tattooer because it's a culture that I appreciate, but I'm not as excited about as the histories of knights fighting dragons and stuff. So it's like more of a occidental kind of look, which I always followed ever since I was a kid.
Okay. Okay. Where do you see, or how do you see your art practice going into the future?
Into the future, I'm really excited about the future. There are some skills I need to develop still, but I see. First, I want to have a collection, which I'm working in right now with the tarot cards. That's like my next project. So I want to have a collection of all those cards, And in the tarot, you have different characters, knights and things, which I will uh, I will make work with my other pieces that I minted. Firstly, the first collection was of night paintings,
Okay.
which I want to do digital now. So my idea is to fuse all my interests in a series of digital pieces.
Okay.
Near future, finishing all the tarot cards, further down the road, expand this into a world of medieval characters wearing armor, fighting stuff.
Okay. Okay. If you don't mind me asking, then how what do you see NFTs as? Is it more a media that artists can use, or is it just merely another technology that's out there?
Yeah, I think to say that NFTs are both of those things are correct. Right now, we see the digital NFT art exploded, but I really believe that NFTs are the future of the proof of authenticity of anything in the future. You know, in my mind, there are stuff like money, like identity cards, documents, passports, all of that you could be tokenized and live in a blockchain where it's much safer.
Mhm.
So in my mind, the NFT technology and blockchain is the future of proof of ownership of everything. And art, it's just part of that huge thing to come that the NFTs will become.
What about copyright and issues around copyright? I guess one of the main ones here is that some people might assume that art that they're buying transfers certain copyright ownerships to them. This might or might not always apply, and so it's not clear. As an artist, what is your view on copyrights and copyright
Yeah,
art?
Yeah, I think NFTs give a great opportunity for copyright in the sense that if I make a piece where I make a multimedia piece, for example, and then I attach video from a friend of mine that makes video and music from another friend of mine, I think the NFTs have the opportunity to give credit to all of us,
Mhm.
and even within the smart contract have like the uh, have taken care of who will monetize in which ways and what percentage and all of these. And when it comes to bigger stuff, like a big corporation that has this intellectual property, I think actually them being part of the NFT world could make it more easy and more logical to make derivative work from the stuff that they own.
Okay.
So I'm kind of like dubious about using copyrighted material based on movies, cartoons, characters that are really popular. I've seen a lot of that. I like many of the pieces. I don't really do it because I think the tide will change. Corporations will come in and they will be all like all of you that earn millions with our property. You know, there will be here are our lawyers. You know, they will take care of that. I think that will happen because since the space is so still in its infancy, I think like the big players will come and they will for sure take what they can from the properties that they own. You know, there will be a lot of how can I say a lot of pursuit of these pieces. I think it was what I guess can happen.
Okay. Do you have any particular artists, either from classical work or from digital art that inspires you?
Oh yeah, so many. It comes from a normal Rockwell or classical painters. Hieronymus Bosch is a big one. He's a medieval painter that I have a calendar around here somewhere. I always look at his work to make my characters. And then digital, man, I just found so many. My friend Nemo is a big inspiration in the digital realm. Uh, yeah, God machine. I have influence of classical painters, tattooers, digital artists, music, so many. Yeah, I
Okay.
think everything collides. All the influences collide in the work of art. So anything that I see, that I'm consuming, everything influences the pieces that I'm making. You know?
Okay. Um, I guess in your portfolio, most of in your portfolio, most of what you focus on is very specific themes. If you were to collaborate with other artists, do you prefer to collaborate with artists that have similar ideas, or are you someone who prefers to collaborate with artists who might have different themes and merge them together?
Yeah, I wouldn't say no to collaborate with someone that has similar interests, but I have to say that the potential of doing something really it's way bigger when it's an artist with vastly different interests as mine. And I really like exploring those things, the juxtaposition of styles, right? Of something that is completely way different and then have to make it work with what I make. That would be amazing. I'm open to both. The more different, I think, will be the most interesting.
So in following up with that, then are you looking to collaborate more with artists, and also maybe are you also looking to collaborate with maybe developers or musicians or technologists? Are those some things that you're looking at?
Oh yeah, collaboration is. I think collaboration can be even the thing that I'm looking for the most now. Of course, I want to sell my individual pieces, but I just have this a lot of ideas of stuff that I would like to make and see in the crypto world, which I don't have the knowledge to make. I don't know really how to program and code smart contracts for, randomized images of nice and different, or doesn't have to be nice. I would love to collaborate with people that have the knowledge to develop other projects. And I think we could, go much farther and create something more special the more people that put their work together. So yeah. I would love to collaborate with others. Yeah.
Okay. There are when as you are building a community as an artist, my question to you is that what are your views on an artist having to build a community firstly, and for you personally, how are you going about building your community, getting your work out there, for example?
Sure. Yeah, I think building community nowadays is the most important thing. If you want to be an artist or get your work recognized and known by others, or not even the interest is not as much as it will be good for you, but it's this thing of collaborating that makes you help other people too. And it's just such a special feeling when you see that everybody's like going farther and learning new things and developing more and more cool pieces. So what I've been doing is just hanging out on my social media, talking to whomever I can, and I always try to be honest with the people that I follow, or the feedback that I give, or the stuff that I participate in social media. I need it to be for me to be really interested in it, and so I have the motivation to see what this person is working on and what ideas they have. So to me, the most important thing is that it grows organically and that it's an honest interest on the work of others. So to share ideas in a better way.
Okay. What do you think are the main challenges for digital creators and the NFT community in general?
Yeah, the copyright stuff can be one. The mass adoption as well, I think is a big challenge. Like I feel that right now is an exploding field that won't go away, but needs to attract more people that are not necessarily into digital art or blockchain technology in a way that they see NFTs as something that they want to own, and that can be beneficial for them. You know, I think the NFT space is really niche, like I said, and it's still a thing. Like it's hard to explain. It's like its own thing. Like I tell to my friends, the cool thing, since I'm a tattooer, I know a lot of tattooers, and it's like, yeah, you know about the NFT space, and you can own a digital piece and stuff, and they were like, what? A what? And there are not as many informative resources to give to everyday people, and show them how cool NFTs are, and the potential they have. So I think that's a big challenge at the moment, I would say.
Okay. Um, do you think it's better to build your community first, and then mint your artwork, or is it better, hey, you're already minting your artwork first and then build a community? And I guess the reason why we're asking this is obviously the gas cost could be expensive depending on where you're minting it. What's your view on this?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still asking myself that question, to tell you the truth. I minted some pieces. In the end, I kept on minting only in OpenSea because of the gas minting fees process is a bit different and is more friendly to coming artists. I think the best is to have already the community, or not the best, but the most uh, the most effective way to do it is if you have a big community. You can mint your Genesis piece. Everybody will talk about it. You will sell it more easily. So that will be more effective. So now I'm not really minting much, and I'm occupying myself into the community side of it, knowing other artists, seeing what I can participate on, collaborate, and then I hope that from that will come either gas fees will go down,
Mhm.
or the community will grow in so that I can see that the interest is there for me in order for me to mint the pieces, because the pandemic has been hard on many people's economy, and it's not easy to mint every piece that one made.
Yeah. Okay. Um, do you have any recommendations for new digital artists or young people who are still in high school or college who want to get into digital art?
Sure, I think it's very important to know what your favorite artists, your biggest influences are, and explore that. It's always a balance between knowing new stuff and creating. So I think searching for that balance since an early stage, it's very important. So I will say 50% researching work, especially going out of high school, starting college. You're just learning about things or what things you like. So I think splitting time between learning, half learning and half creating,
Hmm.
and honing your skills and trying to identify what type of art you want to make. If it's going to be 2D, 3D, visual, audio, video, etc.